The Youth Arts program is a program where students come for 3 weeks and they get to take all sorts of art classes. Contemporary dance, hip hop, they have a composition class, a visual arts class, a theater arts class, and we do whole group activities.
We have 3 groups right now. We have the Minions, who are our youngest, the Rollin' with the Bobcat Homies, which are our middle group, and the They Who Must Not Be Named teens.
For the finale performance, they're shining and beaming. It's such a beautiful thing to see somebody come in from not wanting to speak or move to being the star of a show.
I've been coming to the Bates Dance Festival, thankfully, for 16 consecutive years. And the Youth Arts program has been going on 22 years. It's related to the Bates Dance Festival in the form of an outreach program. Generally, the population of our students comes from the Lewiston, Auburn area. Part of what we're trying to build in our program is that idea of community, that idea of people helping each other.
Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon. Formed against, yes, glorious destined. Every day women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become...
This year, our theme in the Youth Arts program is home.
Home is where I could be myself in front of people that care and love you.
At home gives you a nice feeling. You're safe, you're loved, you're cared for, and that just feels nice.
The middles, the Rollin' with the Bobcat Homies, are currently working on Home on the Range. It's a good medium difficulty song. It's got 3 chords. You know, there's a famous saying, if you know 3 chords and the truth, you can play all kinds of songs. That allowed me to think about home as a key center. So talking about harmony for the first time this year and what it means to have a home chord or an away chord or maybe the neighbor's chord, and giving each type of chord a role. That's something that I haven't taught before here.
We're taking home not only literally, but figuratively and poetically. So we're exploring it within all of our different classes.
My dream home is to live on top of a grassy mountain, to have a roof made of stuff that's invincible.
I see one over there. I see one all the way over there. And I want to look back. How far away is it from the other lake? Oh my gosh, it's so far from the other lake. But you know what? I want to dive into this lake too. On the count of 3, let's dive into the lake. 1, 2, 3. Splash!
With the littles, I try to be more image-based and a little bit more sort of like, how would an animal move? What color would this be? I try to give more creative approaches to body awareness. And then with the middles, I start to build into more of a repetitive warm-up, so things that they have to learn. And then with the teens, I try to push them a little more into that realm. We take the kids on a tour of the festival. In their first week, they went around and we saw a ballet class and we saw 2 different modern classes.
Our students get to experience what a professional dance class is like. They're able to see what class etiquette looks like. They're able to see what class participation is like. And that is such an important lesson for students, whether they continue to be a dancer in their lives or not.
Being part of the festival is a key element. Laura has just been a rock star supporter of the program ever since the beginning. The fact that it's at Bates and they are recognized by all these professional dancers and all of these people from different states and different countries, and then they perform in the huge festival finale and are like, have wild cheers from like professional dancers.
There are times where we have whole group activities and we have a guest artist that comes and they'll do a lecture, a showing, they'll teach them a mini master class.
Wherever they may be, in the spine, in the head, pelvis.
And many times the things that they learn with the guest artist will incorporate into the final show as well.
Home is where my Legos are and my sisters live.
introduce percussion. We do rhythms from all over the world. We use counting exercises. We have children sing the rhythms. I use drum language, doom, teka teka doom, tek.
What began as show and tell turned into a little extra rehearsal for those who happen to specialize in what I happen to specialize in. So that expanded to, next year it was all the violins and the guitarists. Next year it was violins and the guitarists, and oh, there's a mandolin, and why not a mountain dulcimer? And sure, throw an accordion in there too. Rob will figure it out. The primary challenge is giving each student just the right amount of challenge. It's really helpful that we have this performance at the end of the 3 weeks, so there's a very tangible goal.
My favorite room in my house is probably my kitchen. I like cooking, and I like when my family bakes together.
My entry point as an actor and a performer is through the body and is through the physical experience. So when it comes to creating characters, we've done clown work where they create their clown based off of their own body and their own walk and their own gestures, and it's just amplified.
I thought I was going to come here, read a script, and then perform it. It's not like that, so it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
We do things like composition, which is I'll give them a list of parameters or things to include.
So, what can we use with this one?
And it usually ends up just being about how to work in a team and how to be a good listener, how to not be attached to your ideas.
It was kind of tricky that we had only like one sentence to say because we all wanted to make like noises, sounds, but we eventually found a way.
There's a certain sense of accomplishment, I think, when you manage to work with other people effectively to accomplish something very specific.
Home, to me, is a place where I don't have to like act for people. I can just be me, and I can just feel safe.
In art class, we've been able to explore many of these different elements of home. We're actually creating our dream home, so we've explored the physical part of that, but we've also explored some of the spiritual and emotional parts of home. We're creating a stained glass window using different types of media. We're working on folk art, so we're talking about how in different countries, home is still the same feeling. In our final show, where we are in the alumni gym, we set up an art gallery where we get to display all of the student artwork from the 3 weeks that we've done. So they will have their self-portraits and all of the other artwork that we've done. We set it up in gallery format so that as the festival people walk in and the audience walks in, parents and students, they're able to see what the students have created over 3 weeks.
Blanket, and this is the upstairs. Oh yeah. Carpet, desk, chair, couch, beanbag chair.
Home is comfortable.
In the afternoon, the teen group gets this longer chunk with just them to work and sort of to feel almost more like a little dance company.
Woman and man up, they say stay down, and we stand up.
I've been teaching them a rep piece of mine, and they are just totally taking it on, and it's really fun to watch them, and they're excited and they love doing it. That's 1/3 of what we're doing. Another third is improvisational structures, so just getting them comfortable with improv and giving them different structures to work within. And then thirdly, giving them sort of lessons and exercises on composition and choreography, just understanding the different ways that you can go about actually forming a piece.
Second week rolls around, and this generative process is just, it's amplified. The process of the teachers is really neat because we all come together, we have all of this stuff, and then we look at it from sort of this bird's eye view.
You know, we just kind of like map it out, and as each day progresses, we start practicing our map. And by Friday, it's all figured out.
Especially when it comes time to set the finale in stone, like what is it that we're doing? That process is so just fecund.
The challenges that we face working with children is that all children come from different backgrounds. So we may have students that are at risk and other students that come from more advantaged homes. How are you able to deliver these messages of art and movement and happiness and self-exploration to a way that is relevant to so many different backgrounds? And I think that's a challenge for all of us as teachers, but we all approach it in different ways, and it seems like each way is important and special, and it works.
What home means to me is a loving, caring place, and I am going to be moving to a new home, so it kind of fits with Rain's song. And so the way I describe home is a loving, caring, angry, sad, memory-filled place.
Woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots be on the ground. The camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up. One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours.
During the last week is when we really push to where most all of our attention is focused on the performance. But I like to think conceptually and pedagogically when we're teaching the students, even for the first 2 weeks and the final part of it, it's a learning process. You go in, you do a bunch of tendus forever and ever, but you turn that movement, that exercise, that thing into something bigger.
For me, dance has always been that thing that reminded me that anything's possible. Through practice, through coming to it again and again, you slowly start to get better, and it slowly starts to feel possible. There's a sense of accomplishment, of possibility, of that they can take charge. They can take control of their lives, of their bodies, of their situation, and can go somewhere with it, and can chip away at a practice or chip away at a thought until it becomes a reality.
We have students that have been with us 12 years, and it's just amazing to see how they've grown, not only as human beings, but as young artists.